Did you know that Denver 7 named Aurora one of the worst cities to drive in all of Colorado? Hi YouTube, I am Kareem Howard with Gerlach Homes. Not only do I like making videos like this where I inform you about different neighborhoods, but also entertain you at the same time, but I am also a licensed realtor. So if you are looking to buy or sell anywhere in Denver, Colorado, I would love to help you out. I will be putting all of my contact information down in the description. Now, without further ado, let's talk about the pros and the cons of living in Aurora, Colorado. Now, you know when I like to make these types of videos, I love to scroll through Reddit forums. And the reason I love Reddit is because people aren't getting paid to post these opinions. There's no real ulterior motive. People are posting cold, hard, authentic opinions. Now, on r/Aurora, Colorado, this guy asked, why is driving in Aurora, Colorado like being in Mad Max Fury Road? Now, when we're talking about how bad driving in Aurora, Colorado is, we're not necessarily just talking about traffic. Because if we want to talk about traffic, we talk about Denver. But what we are talking about is the actual drivers in these situations. Everyone's speeding. People do not care about pedestrians. The lights are either really long or really slow yellows, and the red lights are long. So people are a little bit more angry. They're driving angry, and you can definitely feel it. And it definitely does not help that the roads in Aurora are awful. There's lots of potholes. There's dips in the roads. A lot of the signs aren't in good condition. It's a bad place to drive. And you're not going to be feeling safe if you're going to be driving in Aurora or walking in Aurora. Now let's talk about some pros, because Aurora, Colorado is not classified by just its bad drivers. There's some real reasons why people love living there. Now, one of the first, and I personally think one of the most important, is affordability. The average home price in Aurora, Colorado is $493,000. And we compare this to Denver, Colorado, which is right next to each other, it is $575,000. So that is almost an $82,000 difference in price in terms of living in Aurora and living in Denver. Now, a case that I've run into many times when working with clients is I'll get someone approved for about $200,000 to $300,000. And $200,000 to $300,000 is definitely going to be condo range. But if you take that money and go shop for condos in Aurora, you have a much wider selection of homes, a better selection of homes, instead of taking that and going to Denver or any other areas in Colorado. Now, another pro of Aurora, Colorado is it's not just single family homes. There is so much housing diversity. Now, one thing Aurora gets a lot of flack for is people think there's not a lot of new build communities or construction out in Aurora. And that's just false, because there's a lot of new build communities, growing communities being built up in Aurora, one of which I just made a YouTube video about. I'll put that up right there. And it's the Aurora Highlands. The Aurora Highlands is building out so many homes. They have a lot of area to work with. Richmond Homes is out there. There's a lot of great builders out there making absolutely beautiful homes, growing the community and the neighborhood out. Now, I said there's a lot of diversity. What does that mean? There's townhomes. There's condos. There's attached single family. There's detached single family. There's so many different housing options out there that if you want one thing, you're going to be able to find that one thing. But if you have an open mind, you can see a lot of different housing options. The Aurora Public School District is mediocre at best. Just look at some of the ratings for these high schools in the Aurora Public School District. Now, there is good news, and I'm going to call this a pro. This is my little workaround. If you want to have access to a better school district, actually one of the best school districts in Colorado, you can just live in South to Southeast Aurora. And if you move closer south of Aurora, you have access to Cherry Creek School District. Just look at the rating for some of these high schools in the Cherry Creek School District and compare that to the Aurora School District, and you will see a huge difference. When I'm working with clients that have kids, they always tell me, Kareem, I want to put my kid in a good school district. Where do I go? And Cherry Creek School District is always pretty much the first option that I give them. Now, if you look at this map that I found for areas that allow access to Cherry Creek School Districts, you pretty much just have to live south of Hampton and east of I-225. Now, things like this are why you want to have good real estate agents that can not only just show you homes, but show you neighborhoods, show you school districts, show you all of the things that you do not have time to think about, do your research about, or anything like that. That is what we are for. And if you are looking for a good real estate agent, this is a self-plug, but all of my contact information is down in the description. I would love to chat. Now, lastly, a great thing about Aurora is there's some beautiful amenities out there. There's so many things to do. Outdoor activities, restaurants, bars, things like that. There's always something to do out in Aurora. One of my personal favorite things to do in Aurora is the Stanley Marketplace. And if you haven't been to the Stanley Marketplace, essentially it's a big hub marketplace where there's restaurants inside, there's an ice cream place inside, barbecue places, just a lot of different things all in one area. So if you are thinking of something to do with the family, with your friends, and you can't decide on one restaurant to eat, one bar to go to the Stanley Marketplace. And there's a huge diversity. There's a nice like outdoor area. It's great at night, great in the mornings. It's an amazing place. Now, if you like outdoor activities, there's a lot of walking trails, a lot of areas to hike, a lot of areas to bike in Aurora. But not only that, there is the Aurora and the Cherry Creek Reservoir where you can go kayaking, you can go fishing, I'm pretty sure in some of these, or just have a nice little beach trip with your friends or with your family. Now, I'm throwing this con in at the end because it's really not that big of a deal depending on the type of person that you are. But Aurora has a lot of amenities, right? We were talking about that earlier. But the biggest thing is that they don't really have a good nightlife out there. If you want to go to concerts, shows, if you want to go to clubs, things like that, Aurora just doesn't have access to a lot of that. And most of the time, pretty much 9 times out of 10, you're gonna have to go to Denver. Now, the good thing about this is Denver is pretty close driving distance. It's about like a 20-minute drive, depending on where in Denver you're going to want to go. But you could run into an issue where you hit a lot of traffic. You don't want to make that drive sometimes. So it can be a pretty big con depending on how often you want to go out. Well, that's going to be it for this video. If you live in Aurora, Colorado, please let me know down in the comments. What do you like? Or what do you hate about living in Aurora, Colorado? I'm super interested to see this stuff. Now, if you are thinking about buying or selling anywhere in Colorado, I'm Kareem Howard, a licensed realtor at Gerlach Homes. I would love to help you out and just get a one-on-one chat started. I'll be putting all of my contact information down in the description so that we can talk at a time that conveniences you and just makes it a lot easier for you because this all revolves around you. Now, that is going to be it for this video. I will see you guys in the next one.